There we go. Sorry, didn't turn my microphone back on. I'm Meteorologist Taylor Graham here, joining you from the newsroom today. I know it's a big week for many of us on the coast with Cruisin the Coast. A lot of activities going on, and the weather is going to be a big factor in how those events play out over the next several days. Tonight, one of the bigger events, the flamethrowing competition, that's going to be happening over at Island View Casino in Gulfport. It actually begins near dusk, and just so you know, the sunset this evening just a few minutes after 6:30. At that time, we're still going to be warm. It's still going to be humid. Temperatures upper 70s to low 80s. We're not going to be cooling down much as we get into the evening. And we'll also have to watch out for a few isolated showers. Good news though is rain is not expected to be widespread this evening, but I can't completely rule out a few isolated showers as we head into the evening. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that forecast here. Again, temperatures upper 70s, low 80s as we get past the sunset tonight. Isolated showers not out of the question, and because it's still going to be so humid, we're not going to be cooling down too much as we get into the rest of our evening. Right now in Gulfport, we're seeing plenty of sunshine, lots of cruisers out there at Jones Park. It's breezy though, at least we've got that going for us, providing a little relief. We are currently at 83 with a heat index of 91, and that's because the humidity or the dew point is so high. We've been seeing dew points in the mid to upper 70s. Today, we also had that yesterday, and that's been making it feel quite a bit warmer outside, a little bit more uncomfortable. Temperatures right now, mainly in the low to mid 80s on the coast. I am seeing some upper 80s a little farther inland. 89 in Poplarville, 89 in Perkinston. Does not feel like fall here in South Mississippi, but I know a lot of people from the north come down here for Cruising the Coast to enjoy the warm weather. Well, they are certainly getting a taste of true South Mississippi weather here over the next couple of days, including today. First alert radar right now, we've got a few isolated showers across the area. Many of us have stayed rain-free for the time being. A few more of these isolated showers may pop up this evening. The good news is the rain is not going to be too widespread. Generally speaking, cruisers are in pretty good shape tonight. I just don't want anyone to get caught off guard if you do see a little bit of that rainfall. Like we've been talking about, it is very humid. We have dew points in the mid to upper 70s in South Mississippi. You can certainly feel the mugginess in the air, and it looks like that high humidity is going to be sticking around until Wednesday. Once we get beyond that, we'll start to see a drop in the dew point, and by the end of the week, it's going to be feeling much more comfortable. So if we can get through the next couple of days, we have some fantastic weather on the way by the end of the week. As for the rest of today, warm, muggy. We're only dropping into the low to mid 70s by Wednesday morning near the sunrise. We may see a few of those low clouds once again. As we get into Wednesday afternoon, we'll keep another chance of seeing some hit or miss showers and storms. These are going to be happening ahead of a cold front, and because we're still going to be ahead of the front tomorrow, it will be warm. It will be very humid. In fact, we're looking at maybe even a hot day for some of us with temperatures in the upper 80s. I'm not ruling that out. So some of those showers and storms will continue into the afternoon and early evening. As that front starts to slide a little bit more to the south, we'll see winds out of the north. It is going to be a little bit cooler and a little bit more comfortable by Thursday morning. We'll start to see a drop in the humidity, but when we're really going to notice that drop in the humidity is by the end of the week and into the weekend. And we can see that reflected in our rain chances. By Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, rain chances slim to none. We are expecting tons of sunshine at that point. We will be ending Cruising the Coast this year with some really nice weather. So we do expect to see drier air to move in by Thursday, and it's really going to settle in by Saturday and Sunday. Watch how far these dew points are going to be falling by the end of the week. So again, tomorrow, pretty muggy, dew points in the 70s. It's going to be a little more comfortable by Thursday, and then that surge of drier, cooler air moves in by the end of Friday. And into Saturday and Sunday, we may see dew points in the 40s and 50s. That's very dry for us. It should be feeling much, much more comfortable at that time. Not only that, we are going to be cooling down as we get into the weekend, especially in the mornings. Whenever we have some drier air in place with a lot lower humidity, it's easier for us to cool down. So by Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning on the coast, we're looking at lows in the low 60s. Now, if you live north of I-10, check this out. You've got a pretty good chance of dropping into the upper 50s by Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of next week. If you ask me, that's more of that true fall-like weather a lot of us have been wanting around here. Now, while the mornings are going to be nice and cool, the afternoons we're still going to be warming up into the low 80s, but you know what? That's not far from normal for this time of the year, and at least with that lower humidity, it's going to feel much more comfortable outside. Should be a great weekend for any of your outdoor plans. Also, some good news regarding the tropics. We don't really have any threats to the northern Gulf Coast. Now, there is a disturbance right off the Yucatan moving through the Bay of Campeche or Campeche. That has a very low chance of development, not really a concern for us. We also had a new tropical storm develop today. That is Tropical Storm Jerry. At 10 o'clock, winds were at about 45 miles per hour. We will be having a new update coming out at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Jerry, it's moving to the west at a pretty good pace right now, and there is the potential that it could be clipping some of the Virgin Islands by the middle to end of the week, likely as a hurricane. The National Hurricane Center looks like they literally just got in that 4 o'clock update. So literally in real time, we saw that update come through. Winds now at 50 miles per hour. Latest forecast track has it strengthening into a Category 2 hurricane by Friday and into Saturday. Again, it is going to be getting close to some of those Virgin Islands, but for the most part, Jerry is expected to remain out at sea. It is not going to be a threat to the Gulf Coast. But again, Jerry, that's our next name system of the season. If anything else were to develop, the next name on the list is Karen. But knock on wood, we don't have any threats right now to the northern Gulf Coast. For your marine forecast tonight, looking at a moderate chop over the sound. Offshore, things are going to be getting a bit choppy with seas at about 3 to 5 feet. We'll keep that wind mainly out of the east, it looks like. And as for your tides tomorrow, we will be coming up on low tide as we get into the morning. High tide is expected right around I would say late tomorrow night and even overnight that night for Bay St. Louis. Water temperature remains right around 80 or so. It's been fluctuating between the upper 70s and low 80s. I will say as we get into the end of the week, I wouldn't be surprised if that water temperature drops a little bit more thanks to those cool mornings. A lot to look forward to later this week with low humidity, sunshine. High temperatures still in the low 80s, but those mornings are going to feel really nice, truly getting some fall weather. And again, inland spots may be able to drop down into the upper 50s by Saturday and Sunday mornings. But the rest of today, warm, humid, still could see some isolated showers, a decent chance for a few more hit or miss showers and storms on Wednesday. But once we get past that, we have a lot to look forward to in terms of our weather. So time now is 3:34. We will be having our 4 o'clock newscast coming up in about 25 minutes. We'll have more information on your forecast, plus a look at what's going on this week with Cruisin the Coast. I'm sure we'll have a lot of people out and about live today, checking out some of those awesome classic cars. So hopefully you will join us at 4 o'clock, and hopefully you can enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.